So we have the two times event coming to Ethereum Restart on June 21st, and I kind of wanted to talk about my plan. And this is also very important, including the days before, because if you see here, only GP Outpost, Threshold, and Investigation will be getting the two times drops. I'd say most people have been farming Threshold and Grim Pursuit. Those are the two biggest ones that people are really going in on. And honestly, I mean, I don't feel like you need to touch Investigation too much because they give a generous amount overall. I mean, obviously, sometimes you will need to go into it a bit or like get XP from other ways. But in general, Threshold and Grim Pursuit are the two main ones that you're going to be doing most of the time. Now, you basically have to choose between these three. But what's good is before it was 1 day only. So it was 1 day Investigation, 1 day Threshold, 1 day GP Outpost. But now they made it for 2 days. However, it's 2 days where all three are available. So let's talk about what exactly you should be doing. So there's one thing I'm going to throw out there, and this is not something that I'm fully recommending, but let's say you really want to go hard on two times, and maybe you're a free to play. I think maybe if you also want to break from the game, high key, all you're going to do is do your 10 refreshes for today, tomorrow, and the days following. So every day starting now until the end of two times, what I could recommend is just like put your refreshes, but don't use the stamina, right? You could do that, right? It's going to depend on where you are in the game, but if you see it possible, then you could do that, right? Basically, for the next 2 days, because the 19th and the 20th, you're going to do your max refreshes with your crystals, if you have some, of course. Then you're going to also do the max refreshes during the two times, but you're not going to use any stamina until two times starts. You're only going to refresh, and then you could do everything else in the game. And why you would do this is because if you're trying to farm Threshold, then, I mean, it's going to be highly, highly valuable to actually keep it. And then you're going to get two times, right, for what you do. And especially if you're free to play who hasn't done a lot of refreshes, you should have a decent amount of crystals. So this might be an option available. Now, what I'm going to be doing. So for me personally, where I'm at in the game, the goal is to really be able to grind Inferno when the two times starts. To do that, I do have to get basically a lucky shell, right? We just got to get a little bit of luck. The goal would be like Onslaught, Kenai, and then Fury Edge. I think it's on, I don't know which, Rosa? Not sure who it's on. I don't know who it's on. Let me try finding it. Anyway, yeah, I have a Fury Edge piece here because when you clear Inferno, you could get one. But getting the shell with it would be nice, and that you have to farm Inferno, and I'm doing that on Nico Nana with, of course, the Dot team and Sanya. So for me right now, I'd say for most people, what they should do is get them to where you're able to do shells like either Inferno or like at least try and get to Rengokutsu depending on where you are in the game at the moment. But yeah, I would say for the next 2 days, if you're not trying to full refresh and save it, I would do shells. Personally, that's what I'm doing. And I kind of need to because to be able to grind Inferno in 2 days, I'm going to need to be very lucky and get the roll for White Fang, including Fury Edge, which is this one. So that's going to be my personal plan because since Grim Pursuit isn't on two times, you're fine to farm that right now, especially if this is going to allow you to really go further in on Threshold. Now then, let's talk about during the two times, okay? During two times, I would say, I mean, while Aurora is really good, I would say you do need a bit of Aurora. I mean, all 5 of these will have their own use. Most people that I know of are having a bit of an easier time with either Terror or Doki Doki. So I would make it your mission, no matter if it's Hell 4, Inferno, it doesn't need to be Inferno, right? Because I'm over here refreshing every day, but if you haven't, maybe you just got to 50, maybe you got to 55, and that's completely fine. I would say for most of it, at least a day's worth of stamina, including your stamina refreshes, which we're saving all of these, of course, for the two times. I would put it like at least 60-70% into Threshold. Okay, personally, that's what I would do. And the main reason is because you're going to get a shit ton of gear. First of all, not even just gear, but gold, right? Instead of 10K, I think it's 10K, you'd get 20K in Hell 4. 20K, right? So it's very, very worth it to actually go ahead and do that because you're going to get a lot of gold for your gear while getting more gear. Now, Doki is going to be pretty good, obviously. I would say the best one here would be speed. So if you could farm, like basically it's going to depend on your needs. If you need more DPS sets, I would say everyone wants to have 3 to 4. Then you go to Terramaton, right? If you need your DPS sets. If you need your speed sets, your more support sets, then you go to Doki, right? If you need more specialized sets, obviously Aurora, but I don't need to tell you this. You guys should know. I would say just mostly dump it into Threshold. Now, once you're done Threshold and once you feel like you have an adequate amount, I feel like at that point, I would say mostly Investigation. Now, why? And that's because, like, in my box, I'm looking pretty good, but let's just look at how much, like, I don't have much level mats, but if we check for my stars, I have 4 reds, 29 yellows, 99 purples. I would be able to make what? I think 2 more 6 stars. And to do that, I'm going to need XP. And I think a lot of people will need XP. So now that we know, especially with the reconfiguration, which is great, what units you're really going to need, I think going into Investigation for pretty much the rest of it is probably the power move. If I'm being real, you're going to go here and just grind this shit out. Now, another good thing is when you do grind this, you also have the chance at 2 times probably to get basically higher drops of either the crystals or free pulls, which is really good. Now, GP Outpost, I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis. So for GP Outpost, my personal opinion is that if you have like the needed lattices, right? If you've got your lattices to actually level up your units, I would say do GP Outpost until you see fit, right? GP Outpost is definitely going to be necessary for sure. And do it as you believe you need to, because you're definitely going to need it. But let's say you don't have lattices at the moment and you aren't planning to build anyone. I don't think it's going to be that worth it over gear when gear is already so hard. And yes, this is more RNG. However, no matter when you do it, there's going to be that RNG element involved, and you're still going to get a shit ton of coins from actually doing Threshold. So I would say prioritize Threshold in this period during the actual 2 times, and then go between Investigation and GP Outpost as you believe you need to. Now, besides that, like I said before, you're really going to want to do Grim Pursuit for now, I would say. Try and find the team that works for you. For example, Nico Nana, I mean, there is rather decent teams, but they're mainly just Sanyas, right? In terms of clear times, it's mainly just like this team, that either this or with a Holden. That's the 2 variations that you're really going to see. So that is a bit of the unfortunate part. And I would say at this point in time, pretty much one of the only teams, or the only team that could beat Inferno to my knowledge. But if you can't do that, then go to Rengo Kutsu. I know Rengo Kutsu overall, not Inferno. Has anyone cleared Inferno? Dude, people have actually cleared this shit. That's insane. That's insane. Oh my god. But yeah, for Hell, dude, you put Diding and you just make your fucking team. Like, look at this. Look, like, I don't know what it is. When I see Freya, I just immediately think that, like, okay, pretty much everyone should have her, but people actually don't, which is crazy to me. I thought everyone just got her. I really did, but it's crazy that people didn't. But yeah, no, like, just farm whatever you can for cells, and then afterwards focus on 2 times, because no matter what, you're going to get a better return on actually using the stamina. So please take advantage of it when it starts on the 21st. With that said, I'm pretty much done the video. Let me know what your plan is. What are you going to be farming? Hell 4, Inferno, Investigation, what's it called? GP Outpost. How are you going to go about it? Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.